Good morning, everybody. How are you? Welcome to Tuesday, May 5th. May 5th? Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Okay, here we go. I forget which news agency it was. Either Mother Jones or Rolling Stone is saying that they put up a headline that says the fake news is we won. And that's what they're trying to sell you now. That's what Trump and Hegseth are trying to sell you. Basically, we were on the verge of depleting our ammunition resources, missile resources, and whatnot to a point where it would be critical. So they stopped that. Uh, you have, well, wait a minute. Okay. All right, I have an article. I have to look at it later on today. But this is uh, they're trying to make it look like we won, and we didn't win anything, and we're not going to win anything. And this is just a big waste of money and resources. Fortunately, or unfortunately, however you want to piece it together, about 14 people died because of this moron screwed up. I think, and I'm of the feeling that we ought to charge Trump with 14 cases of murder, or let's say manslaughter. Let's be generous. Let's cut him a little break. Murder would be a little hard to prove. I don't think he deliberately did it, but it happened, so let's call it manslaughter. That won't happen. Treason? Nah, that's not going to happen either. Hegseth should be committed for idiocy. I can't really see putting him in jail because he's too stupid to know he's in jail. He's too stupid to know anything. He's too stupid to be where he is. You ever see the look on a man's face that when he doesn't know what the hell he's doing? That's the look on Hegseth's face when you see him. That's the look you look at when you see him in the headlines or something. Pete runs out or something like that. What are these things on YouTube? He's an idiot. He has no idea what he's doing. As people have said this, and people in Congress and the Senate have said this, he's in way over his head, and he hasn't got a clue how to get out of it. He doesn't know who to ask or what to do. He's firing the people that don't want to do what he wants to do. In the middle of a supposedly war, he's firing people. No wonder we can't reach a decision about anything. He keeps firing people. What an idiot. And you got the other guy, the fat one, the orange skinned one, the biggest moron of them all. Needs to stop going around saying stuff, things like blowing off the face of the earth, things that we're going to do to Tehran. Because fairly soon somebody's going to call you on that, and you're going to have to do it. When you do it, you're going to find out that not everybody likes you over there, and you're liable to start getting shot at by some people you thought were friends of yours. They don't like Arab genocide. That's why they don't like the Jews, because the Jews committed genocide. The only reason they haven't declared war on Israel is because they don't want war. War will hurt Saudi Arabia more than any of the other countries over there in Qatar. These rich, and Dubai, these rich playgrounds of the rich and famous. If a war breaks out over there, serious war, the damage that could be done to their little playgrounds and the cost in human lives and whatnot would make sure that that place stayed a desert for the rest of its existence. It's just the stupidity of people. If I could see this stuff, and I'm just basically guessing at stuff, I don't know why some other people can't see it and don't do something about it. And don't tell me, oh, it's more complicated than that. No, it's not. You can go after Trump any way you want to if you're not afraid of him. And I don't know why people are afraid of him. I think they're more afraid of what's his name, the guy in the background, Stephen Miller. I think they're more afraid of him than they are of Trump, and I think that's why nobody's doing anything about it. They're just sitting around letting it happen, you know? You know, it's really bad is you have, along those lines, but them letting getting away with things, is that I just read where U.S. taxpayers have paid $300,000 in settlements for sex scandals involving members of Congress or the Senate. Now, I don't mean to be prudish, and I understand stuff happens, and I'm understanding that some of it's not real, that people are paying for it to get rid of it. But when they decide they want to pay for it, there's usually some credibility to whatever they're saying. It's usually more than a he said, she said. But occasionally they get talked into paying them off so that they don't have to go through it, and the party doesn't get chastised for being, you know, an immoral bunch of douchebags, which they are. But this is, it's reaching a point where things are getting a little out of hand over there. $300,000 supposedly this year. That's the way the article seemed to say. I don't know whether that's possible or not, because I don't know how fast these things come up and whatnot, you know. But you got a bunch of old guys, for the most part, who just can't keep it in their pants. That's what it looks like, you know. And I find that, you know, I think, you know, you'll probably catch Hegseth one of these days. Only it'll be with a guy, not a girl. Because I'm pretty sure he's a closet gay person. He's just pathetic. He is a pathetic individual, you know. He's got enough cement in his hair. You know, you could probably chisel his hair if you wanted to. Shoot him in the head, the bullets will bounce off. You know, that's just the man's out of control. The whole government's out of control. The morality is, you know, I'm not saying that there wasn't a lot of immoral acts going on when amongst the politicians when somebody else was president, whether it's Obama or whatever. Obama was clean. He never got caught. Never came, you know, oh, excuse me. But, you know, there were, you know, Jimmy Carter, same thing. But their administration, members of their administration, I'm sure they got, you know, a little carried away once in a while, you know. People with the first time in there, they get this power, and you have women that are willing to do anything to get next to be involved with people of power. It's just the way things go, you know. That's a normal chain of events. How they deal with that is another story altogether, and I don't think we've dealt with it right as a government or as a people or as a country or anything, you know. Women are some of the most powerful, you know, well, I don't have to say entity or humans. Some of the most powerful humans in the world are women. Not just because they can outthink us. You know, some of them can outshoot us. Some of them can outfight us. You just can't sit back like that and label a gender because they have boobs and don't have a dick that they're weak and can be bullied around and whatnot. Life doesn't work that way. You know, we wouldn't have gotten into space without this one young lady, black lady, who's a mathematician. So they can outthink us at times. They're just like everybody else. There's nothing wrong with them. They need to be treated equally. And I've always done that. My feelings about my job, I got threatened. People said, you're going to put you with the woman. I said, well, look, if she can do the job like I do the job, if I don't have to go running around doing all the heavy lifting and everything like that, she could at least try to do some of the heavy lifting, and I see nothing wrong with it. One girl came in, they put her on my shift during the day, and I came in to work, and the bar wasn't stocked. I said, what's going on? Oh, it was too heavy. I needed help. Well, why did she get some help? The manager, the day shift manager came out. I said, well, what's going on? This bar's not stocked. We're going to be screwed for happy hour. I'm going to lose money because I'm going to have to be in the back making prep for tonight. You got to do something about this. And they got me all the help, and I got it done. But still, I lost money. And I told the bartenders that. I said, I'm charging you $10 an hour for me being here. You guys. So it's three of you. You kick it $30 every hour. I'm out here. I'm not out here. This is ridiculous. 2 hours, I made $60. Cutting fruit and making juices and stuff that they didn't know, because they don't know how to do it. They don't know the setup. They don't never take the time to learn. But that's anybody. That happened with a couple of guys that came in to take my place during the day, because they needed me at night. That's happened before. It's not just women. That's why I get upset about things like that. If they can do the job, they have the right to get paid what I get paid. They can do the job better than me, then they deserve the raise and the promotions. That's what it's all about. That's life, What are you going to say? You're going to take a woman who's smarter, does the job more efficiently, is everything about her is slightly better than you. She's not over the hill better than you, but she's slightly better than you, and she deserves the promotion. And she doesn't get it, and she goes to another company that does give it to her. That's stupid. That's not good business. That's taking racism, sexism, whatever, however you want to call it, and saying it's stupid. Now you walk into the bar and you say, well, the bar is 99% white. What a black guy working for? You can do the job. Who cares? The major hotel chains can't discriminate. Small chains can. They point that there's no applicants coming in. They don't want to work that hard or something. Whatever you want to say. You can do whatever you want. They're not experienced enough. Well, I didn't have any experience when I got my first bartending job, and the bar I worked in was rated the 5th busiest bar in the United States. I learned the hard way. Do it or get out. Step up or step out, or you're going to get run over, That's how I did it. And most of us that were there, those were our first really serious bartending jobs, Some of us handled it well, some of us didn't handle it well, as well. That's just the way it ran, So anyhow, what can I say, folks? Life is a bitch. What are we looking at here? Oh, yeah. They're going to set this country back years. Trump and his little group of fairies. So listen up. I'm depressed. And it's only Tuesday. You guys, hit that subscribe. I did get I got another new subscriber yesterday. I'm looking for his name so I could say thank you to him, but I'm saying it now. Number 25, thank you very, very much. I appreciate every little guy that comes along and says hello to me and wants to listen to my bullshit, I try to keep these right around 15 minutes. Sometimes I go over because sometimes I just forget what I'm saying. I just ramble on. I'm an old guy. I'm 80 years old. What do you want from me, 80 years old. It's all there, baby. All 80 years of it. So. But anyhow, Tell your friends, hit the subscribe button. Like I said, you can you could print out my picture and throw darts at it. You know, uh, nostrils 100 points, eyeballs 50 points, whatever however you want to do it. Anyhow, that's it. That's it for me today. I will see you in a little while with a live video, or I will see you tomorrow, whichever one you choose. Take care.